Hello my friends, welcome back to Retro RPG Relaxation, playing through Dragon Quest VI, and we are headed in to try and find out what's going on with these folks through here. We've got a couple of little bosses through here as we're getting ready to fight the big boss in this cave, which is apparently so much worse than the Demon King or anything like that, so we'll just have to see how we go on that. So we will get bulking everybody up as quickly as we can. Maybe see if we can get a silence on this guy. Oh, a little slow for that. Yeesh, it was a rough first round. Two big hits on Hassan. He's pretty much our MVP, so certainly can't risk losing him. But even more so for Muriel and our champ here. Okay, yeah. As long as we can keep trying to spread those attacks out a little bit. Oh, thank goodness. 5 hit points left. That was close. But, okay, now we should be in a pretty decent spot, really. One heal for Hassan. One heal for the healer. Okay, good. Alright, yeah, we're in a good spot now. Managed to get the first one of them down. Yeah, we'll go ahead and heal up the hero with that. And we'll use Staff of Thunder. See how we go. Muriel, if you want to keep dodging those just every time, I'm very happy with that. Let's see. So I did this fight last time, but it didn't actually record properly. And okay, nice. Power up. And we got pretty toasted for the simple reason we can't use it outside of combat. Okay. Like, we didn't lose, but we got our healers wiped out pretty quick, and definitely puts a big damper on things when that happens. This is an interesting group. Let's start with the carrot, I guess. So, poisoning everybody, that's frustrating. heal slime, but we're gonna try and take care of this paralyzer as quickly as we can before things get rough. Okay. Yeah, we're in a decent spot through here. We're just gonna keep on keeping on, healing up with arcane, and getting everything in order through there. Okay. We'll take the armor out. Get retro healed up. And Muriel too. I really don't want you to call for help anymore, buddy. Think we can manage that? There we go. Alright. So, most of my family has been and gone, except for one of my aunts who decided to stay. I mentioned that last time. So she's still hanging out and around, which is always wonderful. She has a big personality, and so it's always just a lot of fun to have her around and get conversations with her going, because she's going to tell you what's up, and that has always been the case, so it's always fun. So we did the big drive. We went to a couple of zoos, wild animal parks. The Cleveland Wildlife Park is a big recommendation. I do not think that whomever is listening to this, other than potentially my dad, is likely to come on down and explore based on my recommendations. But yeah, if you are ever in South Australia, the Cleveland Wildlife Park is exactly where it's at. Get yourself set up to see a whole lot of native Australian animals, and you actually get to get hands-on with them, feed a bunch of them, and it's just a really special place that you don't see really anywhere else in the world that I can think of. Alright, we'll need to heal retro up after this. We also went to the Monardo Wildlife Park, which is one of the biggest zoos in the world, the biggest zoo in the Southern Hemisphere, the biggest wildlife reserve outside of Africa, or the biggest safari park outside of Africa, I believe is what they're calling it now. Just big bus tour through the thing, and you just get to see a lot of people and things, or animals rather, in what is as close to their natural environments as you can get without them actually being full-on wild. So it's a good time. I definitely would recommend both. If you're only going to do one, Cleveland is the one, because it's just so unique. Monardo is also wonderful. And then we also went to the Adelaide Zoo, which has made a pivot from being like a zoo to being much more of a wildlife, not wildlife park, but like Asian animal focused, which is fun. It's good to have an identity that helps things out with that. Because the Adelaide Zoo is famous for being the smallest zoo in the southern hemisphere. So we've got the largest and the smallest in the same state. Like all of Adelaide Zoo can apparently fit in the lion enclosure of Monardo Zoo. So one enclosure bigger than the entire Adelaide Zoo. That is always amusing. To hear about. But it is still a good zoo. They've got the giant pandas, we've got all kinds of really cool animals through there. Giant pandas, red pandas, and more poison. Not what we're looking for, but gotta get through. Okay. Finally getting these guys done. Oh, not quite. Still got a little bit more to do. There you go. Ooh, book user. Okay. And let's have her antidote. Everybody back up. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you're doing, you are making the best of it and enjoying yourself. Gonna focus on the stone beast since we know he's got spells, which always are our biggest concern. Anything that attacks everybody for a decent chunk is a big concern. We can take one swing of 13 damage or whatever it is, if it means that we avoid everybody getting hit with like 30 damage. Really have to get on top of it a little better with the healing early in the fight through there. Still have pretty decent magic point, but I do want to keep it that way. Now let's just have you attack the soldiers, and we'll leave the healing to the cane. Paralysis. Okay, hopefully this paralysis won't last too long for this round. We'll be able to get on through there. No, So it looks like they're hanging in there another round. Okay, and another round. Not sure if we're gonna get healed before this battle ends. Maybe not if things keep going this way, but oh well. Nope. Okie dokie. Everybody seems in pretty decent condition now. Just throw another one on retro, even though it won't end up getting cast. Spin kick. Strange jig. Okay, well, good that Barbara learns a skill. Oops. A little bit of money out of that too. Wonderful. This is why we run from you guys, you realize. Okay. Get our revival artist back up. Just so annoying. Especially since it feels like, 50-50 whether or not the hero goes before they do. And it feels like they just make sure that that 50% happens when they're gonna drop something big on you. Would not surprise me too much. Alright, onward and upward. Okay, yeah. Don't need yet more paralysis with the... well, everybody's gonna get poisoned again. Let's get to it then. You guys want to pick a fight? We will do what we can. Oh, finally got the last one. Okay. Okay, that was alright. I was hoping it would attack more than one person, but I mean, getting rid of one attack fairly early on is not too bad. Okay, one left. And we'll get everything back in order. Not quite, but close. Okay, everybody gonna be back up and ready to roll. Oh, you also have antidote. And you actually use your spells a lot less. That so strong. Interesting. Competition for the Thunderblade is heating up. We'll focus on the armors. As best we can. To again try and prevent them from summoning too many of those fellas. Just keep the focus and keep everything going as best we can. That is the way to do it. I've been reading, some Lunar Life in Another World, the light novel series I've been reading over the last week or so, and it's good, it's fun. The protagonist is unique in that he is crazy and looks at the world in a very different way than everyone else or people would realistically, but it makes a certain sense, and everybody else just does react like he's crazy, and that is part of the fun. But it is certainly different. Firebane every time. And the first volume's again just very fun. His craziness and the way that he interacts with the world, very fun, very unique, just fun and funny throughout. Just some of the humor is fairly simple, like the hero doesn't remember anybody's name, even the classmates that he's been in school with for 10 years just cannot remember anyone's name, so he gives them all different names or titles based on whatever role they had in class, which is just funny, and never remembering the name of where he is or anything. Again, it's simple, but it is funny every time. Another healer, okay. The issue, as the volumes have been getting on, is that, like most of these Japanese light novel things, the guy writing it is kind of a nerd, so Japan has weird obsessions with sexuality, and that everyone who's a nerd has to be like sex obsessed, which again isn't necessarily bad, but okay, have a squire. But it just means that he gets obsessed with sex, and just the descriptions and everything for it just go on way too long for somebody who really can't write it well. Just, you can't really write it well, you aren't doing it in a way that is consistently funny. It's funny like the first 2 times maybe, just like you can get a chuckle on it, but as it goes on, just yes, we know that he's still probably aroused by this, and it's not actually very fun to keep going with that. So even though the rest of the book is again very funny and good to enjoyable to go through, just that really takes it down from what it could be. frustrating. I don't know that I would recommend reading any beyond like maybe the first 3 volumes, because then again it just goes more and more and more. So again, enjoyable for the first few, but once you get beyond that point, really probably not worth it. Probably the hero, right? Well, everybody's going to attack him, so yes, it ended up being the correct decision. Try and bring these guys down a little bit. But a lot of these light novels have interesting protagonists. They always end up being vastly overpowered and save the world seemingly effortlessly. And in some ways, the protagonist does definitely get way too overpowered and is able to do things, but he suffers for it, which is a nice little touch. It's not just he does it, but it's not necessarily easy. Okay, would be an upgrade for the hero. Already got one there. Okay, so we need the hero to either use an item or yeah, we'll pop the metals into the sack. Okay, that is exactly what we want. Get more MP on both of our magicians. Only 3 for you. Okay. Do one more fight and then we'll call this one here for right now. Try and get another job level on, but yeah, again, overpowered heroes are a thing, and this hero is overpowered, but again, it is done in a fairly funny way, where he doesn't ever really look or seem all that heroic, even though he does end up winning. So it's interesting. Probably wouldn't really recommend anything beyond the first 3 volumes. It is funny, and if you read volume 1 or 2 and find it funny enough to keep going, then great. But just know that it does get worse through there. There are still, again, the moments of humor, but he just gets distracted by writing sexy stuff very poorly. Okay, training priest. Wonderful. That is where we'll call it there. So guys, I hope that you've enjoyed this quick little one through there. We're going to keep on going, fight this beast in the halls, and see what we can do through there. Thanks so much for watching once again. And join us again next time for Dragon Quest VI on Retro RPG Relaxation. All the best to you.